I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, to listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckhouse, you're here at the Man Hour. Go to manhourradio.com. Check out the new and improved website. We got blogs, we got the past podcasts up there. We also have merchandise as well. But let's welcome the right-hand man of the show, Brandon Combs. Brandon, what's going on today, brother?
Man Hour Nation. Welcome to the best damn sports radio show on the planet. Man Hour, baby. Buck. What is going on, man? We've got a great show going on. We've got Hoffy coming on. We've got Zen coming on. We got an interview. Yes, we got an interview with one of the baddest tight ends in the SEC.
You know, like, I didn't know much about Jalen before, but I was doing some research on him, and this guy makes Gronk look like a baby back bitch. Like, let's be honest. This guy's arms are like the size of like a freaking anaconda. I was like, what in the world?
He is a bad boy, man. I was watching some of his highlights and stuff, man, and there's a lot of hype about this Pitts kid coming out of Florida. I mean, I'm telling you, this kid is just as talented, if not more talented. If you haven't seen his highlights, man, go check this kid out. He is a beast.
Yeah, we will be playing the highlights during the interview. That is at the on hour number 2 here of the show. So he'll be joining us via phone call at the 9:00 p.m. hour on the East Coast time. We also got Zen Malowski, Ohio State lineman, coming up here in just a few minutes. And of course you got your man Hoffy coming on. I believe the word that you used was baseball lackey. So
that's gonna be my baseball lackey. But look, all joking aside, this kid Hoffy is just like me when it comes to baseball. We just love the game, and we study the game, and we know the game like the back of our hand. So we're gonna get into some stuff. We're gonna talk about my Cubs pretty much losing their entire rotation to free agency. We're gonna talk about some of these new free agent signings, and we'll get into some other stuff too. But it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we will definitely be touching on some of those things. But you didn't know this, but Hoffy sent me a little present in the mail. Like, I have it actually sitting in the house. I haven't brought it outside yet because I'm in that transitional period. But he sent me a Super Bowl MVP trophy in the mail.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it, honestly. It is sitting on my bed.
When he got it, he was like, look at this trophy I just got. He's like, you think I should send it to Buck since he's a Chiefs fan? I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, and I gave him a T-shirt which is in the mail, and then he gave me that MVP trophy. So it's a fair trade, right? I mean, a T-shirt for like an MVP trophy.
Yeah,
for sure. Being like, obviously it is a replica, but I mean, like, honestly, dude, it's freaking awesome. Like, I have it sitting on my sitting next to my bed right now, and I rub it every night before I go to bed. Like, see you guys soon, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, so we do have a great show lined up for you guys. But let's go ahead and talk into a little bit of current events like that is happening in the NFL. And obviously, right now in the NFL, coaching searching is what the topic of choice is right now, because teams are making their moves. They're trying to fill their vacancies and whatnot. And today on the 4-letter network, ESPN, let's go ahead and drop them. People know who they are. I mean, ESPN is like the gold of sports talk, right? Like, anybody that wants to be a sports talker wants to be on ESPN. And they come out and said that there are not enough black coaches and GMs in the NFL, and that they need to fix that. They need to change a rule. They needed to do something to where there's more black coaches and GMs in the NFL. First things first, why? Like what is the big deal?
Well, there is already a rule in place to help advance this. It's called the Rooney Rule. Okay? And no matter if you know ahead of time that you're going to hire a certain coach, if you know ahead of time you want a certain coach, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Bill Parcells. I don't care if you bring back the greatest coach of all time. You still have to interview a minority for the position.
Right.
The one question that I've always posed, and, it's hard for us to talk about this because we are not men of color. I mean, red is a color.
Yeah.
So we're
white is a color too.
Yeah. and so I just, I posed a question in the past where, isn't it more of a slap in the face for me to go to, I don't know, let's Stephen A. Smith. Hey, Stephen A., look,
right.
I'm going to hire this guy for the head coach, but the rules say I have to interview you. I'm not going to hire you, but you can come talk to me.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand. Look, there are a lot of assistant coaches. There are a lot of offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators who are minorities. Mm-hmm. They talk about, there's only 2 African-American head coaches in the NFL. One of them I happen to think might be the best coach in the NFL out there in Pittsburgh. And I just... And not only that, but Brian Flores is doing an amazing job down in Miami. So... I don't know. Like I said, it's tough to talk about because no matter which way you go, especially this day and age, especially in the cancel culture that we live in, no matter what I say is going to sound wrong because I am a white man talking about it.
Exactly.
So I just, it is what it is. I'm not against it. I mean, I'm not against the hiring of black head coaches, but I am against if there's somebody more qualified for the job and you don't get it, you don't get it. That's the part of it that I don't understand. I'm telling you right now, I want me to have Rob Saleh instead of Bieniemy. I think Robert Saleh is going to make a much better head coach than Eric Bieniemy would have. And that seemed to be the consensus across the league as well after Bieniemy interviewed. So if that's the case, you can't tell me that it keeps coming back to the owners, they want to have white head coaches and they want to, blah, blah, blah. 90, I would love to see what the percentage is of black players to white players, because it just doesn't make sense to me that you only want to keep white head coaches. So to me, I just think that they're hiring the person that best fits the job description to run the team that they own.
Right. So one thing that I learned, back in high school and probably junior high was many of your best coaches were some of the worst athletes, right?
Yeah.
Because they had the opportunity to sit on the bench and actually see the game develop and show up and we've seen really very few dominant good players in the NFL, Major League Baseball and basketball become good head coaches or general managers at the point. Yes, John Elway might be an exception, but now I don't think he is even considered the general manager. I think who is the 49ers general manager, that white guy that was the safety for the Buccaneers for the longest time. He played for the Broncos as well. But yeah, so I mean he could be he could be an exception too. But
I even remember what number he was. He was number 47. I just can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name right now either. It is funny you can put somebody he did this, and this. What is his name?
John Lynch.
Yeah, there you go, John Lynch. He was a hell. He was probably the most grittiest safety.
I should have just looked in the comments.
Seen. Right there you go. What's up, Tori? But my biggest thing is what is the big deal about race? At the end of the day, I want to go out on a limb and say that I think the Rooney Rule is kind of what is dividing like our culture. Like, you know, it like we see a little bit of crack, and then you throw a rule like this and saying that you have to interview this guy, like even like he cannot be qualified at all, but you have to interview. It just it puts a sour taste in my mouth.
We're really on a slippery slope here because, like I said, no matter which way we go with it, we are going to not be taken seriously or be seen as we feel a certain way. And I'll be the first one to tell you, man, look, there is not a racist bone in my body. Like, it's just not how I live. But I am a person of common sense. And to me, common sense would tell you that if I'm not qualified for a job, and somebody came to me and said, "Hey, look, you're not qualified for this job. I'm not going to hire you, but I have to interview somebody. I have to interview a redhead for the job. So can you just come talk to me?" I'm going to be like, "Dude, go screw yourself. Why are you going to waste my time?"
Exactly.
You know, and I don't know. Like, I don't. Tori Anderson, no Bears fan has common sense. But no, I just like I don't know. I don't. If that is a thing, let's say it is a thing. Let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say the owners are all racist owners who only want white men running the organization.
Okay.
How stupid is that? To say in this day and age, there is zero chance that I'm going to have a black man run my organization that is filled with players who are black.
I'm going to tell you
that would be a dumb thing to think. You know what I mean? Like I just can't fathom that these owners who are smart enough, who are millionaires, billionaires, whatever the hell they are, to sit there and think to themselves, a black man could not, you know, get to these guys and coach them the way that a white man can. That would just be stupid. Yeah, and if there are owners who think like that, coaches. I mean, like I said,
Mike Tomlin comes to mind.
Mike Tomlin over in Pittsburgh. You have Flores down in Miami, who, I mean, look at what he's doing with that organization. I don't know what ethnicity Robert Saleh is, but the last name would lead me to believe that he might be part Middle Eastern or something.
Right.
So that technically is a minority hire too, isn't it?
Who is the football coach hire? He is Puerto Rican, isn't he, or something?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not quite sure, but I think that when you look at the coaches, and to be honest with you, I didn't know how many black coaches there were or weren't in the NFL. So that goes to show
never crosses my mind. Yeah,
how important it is to me on whether, you know, the skin color of a person. I want the guy, look, as a Bears fan, I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, I don't care what you are. Please just come lead my team and win. Like, that's all I care about.
How about this? I want more fat guys in the NFL. Andy Reid is by far one of the best coaches out there, and he is a fat son of a gun.
I posted today. We finally got our own mannequins, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I was excited to see fat mannequins out there sporting men's clothing in stores. So I am all about the dad bod. All right.
You are, because you are a definition of man bod / chode. But guys, we are going to take a quick little break. You have to get on the stepladder for that. But, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Big Zen, Ohio State lineman, for his weekly segment. I'm kind of excited to talk to Zen tonight. I get to lead the interview, so it's going to be a damn good one. You guys know that.
Oh, God.
So we'll be right back here, guys, on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhatch along with Brandon Combs. We got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Big Zen. Zen, I just saw you doing like 15 deadlifts, man, like right in a row. What was that all about, boss? You're on mute, man.
Oh, I was just starting we're starting my program for Ohio State.
Yeah.
I was supposed to work out this morning, but we had some stuff come up, so here we are at 8 o'clock.
But seriously, like, was that 15 reps on the deadlift that you just did?
Oh no, that was only 10. We were just doing we do 3 sets of 10 after front squats.
Okay. Wow.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie.
Man.
I was watching you do it on the screen down here, and my back and my legs are now hurting for the next week and a half. So, more power to you, man.
Yeah, that was some great form, Zen. So, Zen, thank you for joining us here as always, man. Like I always like talking to you, and like I like seeing you grow week to week to week. And like you can see the maturity in yourself just growing, just knowing like, hey, I'm a college student now, right? Like how does that sound coming out of your mouth? Like, hey, I am a college student. Like, and you just turned 18.
I know, it's so weird. My birthday, not just yet, coming soon, but like. It's definitely weird, like having college classes, and it's definitely a lot more challenging than high school. But I'm very blessed to have like advisors and stuff, and a bunch of tutors always helping me. That makes it so much easier.
So I mean, like obviously, like we are like friends, like outside of this, and acquaintances or whatever, and like whatever you want to call it. I saw you post something on the old interwebs that the Ohio State got you a nice tablet and an Apple Pen. I mean, that is freaking awesome. I mean, you be prepared to get a lot of free stuff like just like that. Like I remember walking into like my locker like after practice, and there's like 15 pairs of shoes there. Like have you got any shoes yet, man?
Oh, we get that when we get there. Yeah, I'm definitely excited about that to see just what happens. But yeah, I didn't expect any of the iPad or anything, so I was ecstatic to come home to a backpack full of just like good stuff to play or to use. So
yeah. I mean, obviously that's probably used for classes, right, Zen?
Not like
FaceTiming and whatnot, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you are getting ready to report. It's sometime this week, right?
Yeah, I move tomorrow actually.
Oh, there you go. You moving tomorrow. Yeah. So what is the most thing you are most excited about once you get up there? Like, what is the first thing that you are going to do once you get on campus and get settled?
Oh man, I'm excited for workouts. I'm really excited to see the changes from high school to college, and just see how much harder they are, and like working out with my brother, like family now, because like all the other kids in my class, we only have like about 20 recruits in this class, and we're all super close. And I don't know, it might just be me, but I love like workouts and stuff with my teammates because it's pretty fun.
Yeah, there's something about just like a hot, steamy gym that stinks with like raw like weights with like 100 other dudes. Like it just gets the testosterone growing, and like you want to outwork everybody there. So when does spring practice start?
I think sometime in March. When we get there, we have to quarantine for a week, I think, and then we start like conditioning and stuff in February 1st. So I'm pretty sure spring practice is in March. I might be wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, I believe when I went there, like my first winter semester, we started conditioning late February, and I think we only had like six weeks of practice, like between March and April, and like and the end of April was our spring game. Have they told you like? Are you guys going to have a spring game and stuff like that? Like me, like obviously with the whole COVID thing happening and whatnot. Like, are you guys planning that?
Not 100% sure just yet. We kind of have to see what happens, I guess, with COVID because it's still kind of sporadic and it might like spike again in the winter or in like a couple of months. But I hope not. I hope we have a spring game. That'd be so much fun.
So, me being a former college athlete myself, like there were certain places that I loved to go. Like I loved going to Lawrence, Kansas, because I knew when I was in the purple and silver, we were going to go into Lawrence and whoop that ass.
Oh yeah.
Which stadium are you most excited to go see, man?
I want to go pay a visit to Cole-Sung in Michigan.
There you go.
That'd be pretty fun. But yeah, it should be fun.
So Coach Smith, our quarterback coach over here at Floyd, he went to like Indiana, and he said the best place that he ever went to was Penn State. They were white. Everybody in the stands wore white, and there's like 150,000 people in there going nuts. Are you a little bit nervous about that at all, Zen?
I mean, we have our own stadium full of 100 and like over 100,000 people, so I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for that.
So Zen, when do you actually go to Ohio? Are you already there?
No, we move tomorrow.
You move tomorrow? All right. So have you gotten a chance to speak with like any of your new teammates or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually got to. One of them reached out, Wyatt Davis. He was our right guard this year, and he's going to the NFL. And he was an All-American, and he reached out to me on Twitter, and we got on the phone and talked for a little bit, and he was just giving me some words of advice and stuff, and just coming into freshman year from a guy that's about to go play in the NFL. So that was really cool to get insight from that.
Awesome.
What was the best advice that he gave you?
Just compete. He said that like that's something that I noticed in our freshmen that I wish they did more in high school. Is just when like we're in workouts or if we're any practice, just compete and show out and just show that you're ready to play and all that. I think that's the most important thing, honestly.
What is the one thing you're looking forward to the most once you actually get on campus? What's the one thing you're most excited for?
Kind of just seeing how it all plays out and like how my life changes, and then like workouts too. Yeah, I'm so excited for workouts.
So many people in like when you go to college, there are usually like three paths like people choose, right? They are there to like I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to start my career. Like this is the path that I want to go. And then there's other people that like want to like meet their life partner, like their wife and their and like all that stuff. Like I mean, like most football players are there in this sheltered like and just with like with like the other 100 guys that they hang out with like all the time. Are you going to be a guy that tries to expand and like reach out to other people, or are you going to like kind of stay in your tight knit little football community that you have?
We'll see what happens because obviously I want my best friends to be on the football team because like you're playing with them every day and you're living with them, and I definitely want to have my closest friends there, but definitely like reach out, like if we start having in-person classes, meet some people, and just kind of definitely branch out.
Have you met your roommate yet?
Yeah, we have 3. I have 2 other rooms. We're supposed to have 4, but we kind of lucked out and we got a 4-bedroom apartment with 3 people, so kind of trying to decide to do with that last bedroom, but
I got some suggestions for you off air.
Yeah, it's going to be me, Ben, and Tyleek. And Ben is an offensive guard, and Tyleek's a defensive tackle. So it should be fun to compete with Tyleek every day. And then me and Ben obviously are going to be pretty much spend our whole day together. So it should be fun.
So one of the strangest transitions that like I had from high school into college was the fact that I was living with other football players, like just like at that point, and like some of their weird things that they did. Like there was one guy I was a roommate. Like we shared the same room. He was a tailback, and he would walk with the ball everywhere and like switch hands and it's like, hey man, try to punch us out. Like, are you are you going to be one of those guys that like don't wash your socks because you guys have won like 8 games in a row?
Gosh, probably not. I never did anything like that this year. I think I'm just gonna be a normal person.
You say you're normal, but when you go up there, like, dude, I'm telling you, there are going to be those certain football players that like they just stink. Like, hey, hey, man, go take a shower. Like, are you going to be the guy that takes a shower after practice? Come on, Zen.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
See, I was the superstitious guy. So when I played baseball and hockey, especially hockey, I didn't wash my jersey all season long, and I was a goalie. So
really?
by halfway through the season, that jersey was rank, and my mom wouldn't let it in the car, so we'd have to take my dad's truck everywhere and put it in the bed of the truck. So I'm definitely that guy. But what are some superstitions you do have?
I always like to pray before games. That's a big thing for me. I always had like this like bra that my grandma gave me like 6-7 years ago that I always take to all of our away games and stuff, and it honestly, I think it makes a difference, but I don't know. I still can do that, sure, but nothing else really like that.
So I mean, like, obviously, like, you have family in the Ohio State area, and you have family down here at Southern Indiana. Has your mom and like stepdad like said, hey, we're going to come to like every game, or do you like what about that?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. And then they really were like how all of our games aren't really that, like, they're not down in Florida. Like if I was going to Louisville, we were playing like Florida State or something.
Right.
They're happy that they're all kind of in the same area, and they'll definitely be at. I think, gosh, my stepdad will probably beat every single one. Same thing with my real dad. They're gonna be, they're gonna be excited.
I can tell you, like, being parent myself, and like my kids are like starting now to get like involved in like stuff like school and stuff like that. Dude, you need to take this like with like, you know, like, this is a blessing that your parents can come to like every game and like be there and enjoy it, like embrace it and enjoy it 100%, and just like just a simple hey, thanks for coming goes a long way. And moms always love hugs in front of everybody. So just keep that in mind. So go ahead.
Oh, so we've got a listener who always listens and chimes in on shows. His name's Tori Anderson. He's from Wisconsin. He's a Green Bay Packer fan. I don't hold that against him too much. But he has a question for you. He says, this is a homer in me coming out. Are you looking forward to coming to Camp Randall and experiencing the greatest football tradition with the jump around?
Sure, yeah, that sounds like fun.
Basically, Zen doesn't care. Zen doesn't care about Wisconsin. Ohio State's going to come into Wisconsin and whoop that Badger ass, right?
Yes, sir, of course.
No doubt about it.
So I've got another question. So one of the things that you see a lot, especially after, you know, national championships are won, you see this a lot with Alabama players and blah blah blah, is the engagement, the proposal after a national championship. It's like once a year you see it now. How do you feel about proposals after a national champion? You think it's played out, or is that something that you think is actually a pretty cool idea?
Don't do it.
I think it's actually pretty cool because it takes so much to get there. I mean, not something I would do, but I think that like one of my buddies would do it, and props to him. But like if you're making it to a national championship and you win the national championship, I mean, it's just crazy.
That is like proposing to your fiance on Christmas Day or Valentine's Day. That is a cop-out gift, man. Like, come on, like, don't do that. So, before we let you go and get back to your workout and whatnot, have they talked to you about redshirting at all your first year, or are you competing for a starting job? Like,
we haven't really talked about that yet. I think we're gonna probably see. When we get there, we're gonna like workout, like see where everyone's at, and then I'm sure they're gonna decide from that. But no, I'm definitely excited. I'm cool with whatever happens. Honestly, I just want to play football.
Yeah, man, you look great. Your workouts are looking great. You were like the last time we spoke, you were above 300 pounds. So clearly, you are ready to start for Ohio State and beat Wisconsin and Penn State. And so Trace, right? Trace, senior. Played on the team last year, was a senior. Dad's a principal. His name's slipped out.
Oh yeah, Trish Willman.
Yeah. So we had him on last night. He is a manager for IU, and he said that IU is going to win a Big Ten championship in the next 4 years. Are you going to put a stop to that, Zen?
Definitely. I mean, you should go tell him to look at our recruiting classes coming up.
There you go. I mean, hey, you signed me, so you clearly are doing something right. But Zen, as always, thanks for joining us, man. Be safe on that move tomorrow and enjoy life, man.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Hey, enjoy it, Zen. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that is Zen Malowski. He is an offensive lineman for Ohio State. He is reporting to school tomorrow and camp at the end of February.
Look, with these weekly interviews, man, I just hope we have some on-field passes waiting for us for Ohio State versus Michigan. Like, we're going to be on the sidelines, interviewing Zen after a game, aren't we?
Well, see, you must be 6 foot tall to be on the sideline, Combs. So,
motherfucker.
So
look, I will freaking put some stilts on. Like, I don't care.
Don't you already real like those 3-inch heels, anyways? Like everywhere you go.
Man, why are you giving away my secrets?
I mean, I'm sorry, man. But guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. On the other side of the Man Hour, we're going to welcome baseball lackey himself, Hoffy, and we're going to talk a little bit of baseball. So, guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheiser along with Brandon Combs himself. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the new blog section, the merchandise section, and, of course, check out the past podcasts. So if you missed any part of the show whatsoever, head over there right after this, and it'll be uploaded before midnight tonight. I guarantee you that. I don't guarantee that because sometimes when I get off the show, I'm just ready for bed, to be honest with you. But, Combs, we had a great interview with Zen. We have another great interview coming up here at the top of the hour, at the 9 o'clock hour East Coast time. But we have to welcome 5'7" himself, the baseball lackey, the ginger, Hoffy. What's up, man?
What's up, Man Hour? Thanks for having me in. And I'm no baseball guru, but I'll give you one thing you can take to the bank, Buck. Your Royals are going nowhere this year.
Oh, they aren't going to get first place
coming
in
in hot.
Playoffs? Man.
First place and last, but hey, my Red Sox are probably right there next to you, so it's all good.
Wow.
Hoffy, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Colin? How you doing, boss?
I was going to be nice to you and give softball questions and sign on you.
Oh, you were coming in hot. Don't lie.
Man, all of a sudden, I feel this anger boiling inside of me. I just want to just punch
Nation.
you.
We got to stick together.
Right. I mean, is it weird that we have 3 gingers in one location?
Hey,
I actually think this is the most gingers that are allowed in one location right now.
Yeah, I feel like we are breaking some state laws like at this point. But
we're in 3 different time zones.
There you go. Wow, that's a great point. So you are here to talk some Major League Baseball, and that's exactly what we were going to do. Some big news happened late last night. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when the alert came across my phone. But George Springer signed with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Hoppy, I'm going to put this up on a pedestal for you right now. Is it time to put the Blue Jays in this World Series talk with the signing of George Springer?
Oof. I don't know about World Series talk, but me being from New England and being from New Hampshire, that's where the Fisher Cats play, which is the farm system for the Blue Jays. So I've gotten a firsthand look at Vladdy Jr., Biggio, Bichette. So I'm excited about their offensive power, but I think they need 2 more, bullpen guys. And another starter would definitely help. They do have one guy, and I wrote down his name so I didn't forget it, and I obviously already forgot it. But I think their starting pitcher, Nate Pearson, is going to have a huge year for them in order for them to, be successful. But, you got the Yankees and the Rays are always good, and even with their slash payroll. So we'll see.
That whole division from top to bottom seems like you could talk anybody going to the World Series like out of the division at that point. Combs, what are your thoughts on the George Springer signing?
I think it's a nice signing for the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it kept them away from the New York Yankees. And I also think that I agree with Hoffy. I think they still need 1 or 2 more pitchers. They need some back end of the rotation help. They need some bullpen help. I mean, if you're gonna go get Springer, why not go out and get some of these top name free agent pitchers that are out there like a Trevor Bauer.
Why not Tanaka? He's out there. He knows the East.
Masahiro Tanaka would be another great pickup for them.
Them adding Kirby
Yates. They don't have
Yates.
any money. They spent $160 million on George Springer.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real. It's the Blue Jays. Most of their money right now is tied up in rookie contracts, and them rookie contracts are pennies. So, the Blue Jays definitely have the means to go ahead and do it. I didn't think they were going to. I thought this was going to be a Mets move all day long. But then, obviously they ended up going and getting Francisco Lindor, and they got Carlos Carrasco, and so. And plus they've got their own issues right now that they're dealing with. The Mets are metting as the Mets can only met right now. And they, I thought this would have been a good signing for them. I thought Trevor Bauer would have been a good signing for them. But I don't know. How. Do you think that the Blue Jays are the cream of the crop in the AL East now, just with George Springer?
They'll hang offensively, but again, the pitching's going to be the question mark. They got the closer Kirby Yates. He was 40 or 41 in close opportunity. So I mean, you get him an opportunity to close the game, he's going to close it. But you also got to hang with the Yankees. The Rays are going to have a pitching staff. So are they going to minimize your offensive lineup? And that's where you go into it. But you think back 10 years ago, Buck, when they had Tulowitzki, Donaldson. So, I mean, every 15 years or so, that they'll go out and spend and
make a move
and go. Yeah.
Right.
You had the late 80s, early 90s. They were good.
So
the Marlins of the American League.
So speaking of moves, we are exactly 26 days until spring training is scheduled to start. And there are some big free agent names out there.
Big names.
Trevor Bauer that Combs just dropped that is still out there. Well, when are these guys going to start signing? Because, 26 days is less than a month away, and you don't even have a team yet. Who signs first and where?
Combs?
Well, I mean, first things first, though, they're all going to sign. I mean, these guys are going to start dropping. I mean, Springer, I think, was a big one. Once Realmuto finally signs that contract with the Phillies, I don't know what he's waiting on, but that number that Phillies gave him, I don't think that he's going to get more than what they offered him.
No.
So I think he's got to sign there. Brantley just signed. First, we thought he signed with the Blue Jays as well, and then all of a sudden he went and 2 hours later we found out he actually didn't sign with the Blue Jays and he signed with the Astros instead. So that
Josh
was
McDaniels.
It was one of the. I think that they just I think they just jumped on it too early. I think the reporting was a little premature. And
if you're not first, you're you were last. So even if you report fake news, if you happen to be first at one time, it's all better, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I seen this Bauer's in talks with the Yankees, like Tori Anderson says here. Bauer to the Yankees is a good thing for the Yankees. It's a bad thing for the American League East, but it's a good thing for the Yankees. The Yankees, they go out and they do stuff, but they don't get pitching. I don't understand how that front office doesn't understand that the only reason they haven't won a World Series in the last 6-7 years is because they have no pitching.
Or because they can't stay healthy.
And they continue to sign offensive players. And I'm like, well, great, but who's going to pitch for you in the playoffs? This is why you don't win in October, because pitching plays in October. And good pitching always beats good hitting. And that's why they lose every year to a team you don't even see coming, whether it be the Oakland A's, whether it be the Rays this year.
Rays.
You lose to good pitching, and they just don't seem to understand that.
Yeah. So speaking of Tanaka, Tori Anderson says Tanaka is probably heading back to
I've heard that too.
Japan.
I've heard that too.
That's been a big thing. So why do you think he would forego a major league contract to go back to his homeland to play ball? Just because he misses home, or
I think he's been hurt a lot, and he hasn't performed up to expectations here in the major leagues. When he came in, everybody was talking about this is the Asian Roger Clemens. Mm-hmm. This guy is going to come in and he's going to dominate. He's just never been that. Mm-hmm. So maybe his psyche just is like, look, man, I just want to go home. So I could definitely see it. But there are a lot of teams that could use him. I mean, hell, my Cubs, Hoffy, I don't know what we lost our entire rotation to free agency. Like I didn't even know. And as a Cubs fan, I didn't even know that a couple of these guys were even available.
Quintana.
I was like, what the? Like Quintana goes to the Angels, and I'm like,
I love it.
Wait, I thought we had him under contract. What do you mean Quintana went to the Angels?
No, 1 year, $8 million deal too. That's a hell of a deal. A prove-it deal. I think if the Angels can add, they were talking about Bauer. I think if they can get him with Ohtani, Ohtani can rink.
Healthy,
and that exactly. Coming back healthy with that arm. I think he's going to be one of the few Japanese pitchers that we actually see put up the numbers that we expected. Because we've seen what he does with the bat. And I mean, if he can do half with his arm, what he can do with the bat, he's worth every penny.
Now,
they got to do something for Trout.
Ohtani, is that, would you keep him as a two-way player?
Yes. 100%.
See, I would just say, guy, look, I know you want to be a two-way player, but you can flat out hit. And I don't want to lose you to another rotator cuff injury or another, if you've got to go have Tommy John, like, I don't want to lose you to that.
Yeah, but they're paying him money, so they want their money's worth out of him.
Yeah, but I think you get your money's worth as long as you keep him healthy and keep him in the outfield, because batting him next to, this lineup that they have, man, with a healthy Ohtani, the way he can hit, this Angels, and I said this last year in the short 60-game season, and it didn't pan out. I think maybe if it was a longer season, they might have had time to come back because they were starting to play really good ball towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. But I think that the Angels have the best team in the AL West. I really do.
Yeah, I think they're going to compete for sure. That's why I'd like them just to add Bauer just to shore up their rotation, because that's their issue. I mean, they got Trout, and what's he 10 years into his career now? He's been to postseason once. He's 0-3.
Yeah,
and I mean it's not his fault by any means. The guy puts up numbers every year, and I mean he's the Michael Jordan of baseball, and it just seems unfair. For him to.
But he's also one of those guys who doesn't want to play anywhere where there's a whole lot of spotlight either. He loves playing in Anaheim because most people who, other than guys like me and you, I mean, you live out in California, so it's easier for you to watch an Angels game. Me, the game's starting at 9 o'clock. For Buck, it's starting at 10 o'clock. Buck ain't staying up at 10 o'clock to watch a baseball game. I'll watch a baseball game.
He's already falling asleep. Look at him.
Yeah. I'll watch a baseball game until midnight, but not many people are, and I think that's why he signed that long contract with them, and said, hey, look, guys, let's at least try to contend, because Ohtani, and that's why I agree with Tim Leonard there, who said the Angels need to make a decision with Ohtani. I agree, because if you make Ohtani be an outfielder and just hit and not worry about pitching, I think
Wait a second. Just DH at that point.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me try to dissect of what you just said here. You said that Trout signed a long-term deal with Anaheim because he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Is that what you just said?
That's why he didn't
face of baseball.
He very quietly is.
What does baseball do with their faces?
They do nothing, but still.
Oh, okay then. That's what I'm saying. He is okay with being in Anaheim, and I mean they gave him what was that? 10 years, $400-something million, like $460 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. He was with the Rangers before that, right? Wasn't he?
Trout? No.
Trout's always been with the Angels.
Always been with the Angels.
Oh, I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Hamilton.
God, he was a mess.
Did you just compare Mike Trout to Josh?
Well, I was thinking because for some reason I thought Trout was at
position.
Drugs, the cocaine, all that stuff, right?
But no, I don't know. I think that the Angels definitely need to make a decision with Mike Trout, or not Mike Trout, with Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm. If he was on your team, what decision would you make? Because I think he's a pretty good pitcher.
If he's on my team, I'm making him a DH or an outfielder.
Okay, so what if the NL doesn't have DH, which they're thinking about?
The NL is definitely they're
in the AL, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm saying, like, what if he was in the NL?
Oh, okay.
If he's the NL and there's no DH, I'm still making him a right fielder. Like, I don't want him to be a pitcher because he's so good offensively. Like, I don't want to lose that out of my lineup. And you put him, Trout, and Rendon as your 3, 4, 5. That is a filthy.
You got Pujols in 6.
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous lineup. And so, that's what I would do with them. And the NL should absolutely. I don't know about you, Hoffy, but the NL should absolutely go to a DH. The National League should have a DH for the rest of the time.
We need to speed the games up, and by having pitchers hit in the NL, that there's more pitcher substitutions, there's longer warm-ups for those pitchers. So, yeah, by just having a DH, you're going to have those pitchers go from pitching 5 innings to 7 innings, and you're going to have less of that, those substitutions in between.
And that's the other thing I hear all the time is people say, oh, we need to speed the games up. Do you know that the average baseball game this past season was actually shorter than the average football game?
There's a lot of 7-inning games.
And the average time in play was actually more than a football game this year. Like, I mean, people say that, but I just think it's because those people that say that don't really understand the beauty of baseball.
Right, but you have the people that fell in love with baseball, such as me and you in the 80s and 90s, and they're holding on to the 80s and 90s and those days. And those days were 2.5-hour baseball games. It's now 3-hour plus. So yeah. I'll watch the 3-hour game. I'm a fan of the game. But you have those people that want to see offense, and that's the other thing. We need to lower the mound. Get some more offense, flatten the ball, allow people to stop going for the home runs every time, get some more small ball, and we'll see some more. More action, faster gameplay, etc.
And that was the one thing that I heard that was floated out there was, should the Major League Baseball ban the shift? I'm telling you right now, my grandfather is rolling over in his grave at that question. Because he would say, no, learn how to hit the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to pull the ball. Stop trying to hit the long ball and hit the ball the other. Once you start beating the shift will outlaw itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can beat the shift, they're not going to shift you. I don't get that whole, we need to outlaw the shift, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. It just doesn't make sense to me.
If David Ortiz can lay down a bunt down the third base line.
Yes. I've seen Rizzo do it. I've seen tons of guys that they pull this shift on, beat it with a bunt, and end up with a double.
Yeah. Is it hard? Yes. Are you a professional athlete that should be able to do it for the millions of dollars you make? Yes.
Yes.
I couldn't have agreed more that. But Tim Leonard brings up a comment here saying, back to Ohtani, the development of a pitcher is different from a position player. Distributing a player's training / passion endangers the player careers and the franchise's investment. Do you guys agree with that a little bit?
I do to an extent, because I know we've talked about this on the show before, Buck and Hoffy. I don't know what you think about it, but you come up as all these guys played Little League, and your best player in Little League is a shortstop, he's a center fielder, and he's a pitcher. So you grow up playing all of these different positions, and most likely you're doing it in high school as well. Where you lose it is when you get to college, because that's when your true position really starts to take place. That's when they start to develop you at a position, and it's for 2 reasons. 1, you can't hit, or 2, you can't pitch. So they decide where you're going to go. I mean, in high school, it's one thing because you're throwing, fastball, maybe a curveball. I always try to teach my younger players to not throw a curveball or not throw a slider until they're over the age of 16 because of elbow problems that it can do. I like, if I'm going to teach my kid, my little leaguers, 2 different pitches, it's a fastball and a changeup, because you don't change your delivery motion and it doesn't torque your elbow. But once you get into college, that's when you start developing, and some guys can develop into, throwing this or that. I know for me, it was a 50-mile-an-hour fastball or a knuckleball. So either way, I wasn't throwing very fast. I know I've played ball with Hoffy, and playing first base while Hoffy's a shortstop, I crap myself every time the guy throws. One, because I don't know where the hell the ball's going, and two, because it's coming at me at a billion miles an hour. So I just crap myself every time he throws. And those are the guys.
It sounds like I make millions of errors. I don't think I made an error in my life.
No. I'm saying I don't know where it's going, whether it's going left or right, and your ball has a natural tail to it. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of poop myself playing first for you.
What you're saying, Combs, is you are the stereotypical first baseman. You are fat, short, and can't catch, right?
No, and Hoffy will attest to that. I can at least catch. I can track a fly ball. I'm an all right outfielder. But yes, my favorite position is actually third and first, because you don't have to move as much as you do at short, and you can cheat your arm. I don't have a very good arm, so I play in a lot, which causes me to make a lot more errors because I play in a lot. And in softball, when you play short, people crush the ball. And so there are a lot of bad hops. There are a lot of things that take. But I have to cheat my arm, so I have to play in. And same thing at first base. Like I don't have to worry about my arm, so that's why I really like playing there.
I played outfield, but my favorite spot to play was get super drunk and play catcher and stand behind the umpire and let him catch the ball. But speaking of getting super drunk and just getting stupid, we talked about this yesterday, but Hoffy, I want your thoughts on this. We talked about Jared Porter and all those text messages that he was sending the female reporter. We found out she is a foreign female reporter now.
Light him up, Hoffy.
What are your thoughts about Jared Porter's text message exchange with himself? 63
Light him
times.
up, Hoffy.
Let me put it to you this way, Buck. If I ask you to have me on your show and you don't answer me, I'm not sending you another 59 messages asking if I can come on your show.
Why not?
And then when you still don't answer me, I'm not going to send a beautiful picture of my face to you and say, come on, have me on. It just seems like common sense that
Buck would just be waiting for the penis pic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
sorry.
any times like you can just like flop it up like a little bit, you know, like put like make like a little mustache. A1, man.
Oh my God. We are in so much trouble tonight with the conversations we're having. But no, so I'm with you, Hoffy. How many text messages has this guy got to send? He's talking to himself. Mm-hmm. And then the only times that she's talking to him to respond to him is to tell him to stop talking to me. Yeah. Like, at what point do you not say, hey, look, she's not interested. I work in Major League Baseball, and I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I'm going to move on.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand it.
Yeah, makes no sense. And then for him to, you know, when it comes out, they ask him about, did you send pictures? No, I didn't. They show him the pictures. Oh, yeah, I sent those, but that's not me.
Yeah.
That's like, the hotel room that you were sending, though.
No, yeah. I mean, and at that point, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You could go on the internet and pay for it if you're that hard up. Like, I mean, seriously, offer a girl $1,000 for the night, and there are plenty of websites that will do that for you.
There's plenty of guys that would do it for $5, right, Combs?
Hey, $20 is $20, Buck.
So Hoffy, let's put you on the spot here. Like I said, there's 26 days until spring training starts, and guys, I do see your comment, and we will address that here in like a minute. Who do you think is going to win the World Series this season? Yes, it's too early. I put you on the spot, but we got to get an answer.
I'm gonna with my dream pick, San Diego Padres. If
San Diego,
you know,
Padres.
They were there last year. Their pitching was hurt in the playoffs, and that's what cost them. But they've added some players. They've got 4 top prospects that are in the top 100. They got the number 1 lefty, and you know, sounds like he's going to be, you know, in the rotation this year. So I think if we have a full season, that's going to hurt Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers because, you know, let's be honest, he can't go a whole season, and that helped him last year. You know, they lost Hernandez, they lost Turner, and those were, you know, solid guys in their clubhouse. So I think the Padres are going to take the West this year, and I like them or the Braves. I think the winner of that NL can give the AL a run.
Yeah,
Holmes, put you on the spot too.
Before their decision to hire Tony La Russa, I would have absolutely 110% said the White Sox this year because I really believe in this team. I like the things that they're doing. I like the moves that they're making. Mm-hmm. But Tony La Russa just turned at that was just a horrible hire, a horrible decision, and I don't think it's going to end up well for them. So I am actually going to go a different direction, and I'm going to surprise people, and it surprised them when I had them in my top 10. I'm going to say the New York Mets.
New York Mets. Let's put Wyatt Williams on the spot. Speaking of bad mistakes.
Uh-oh.
Who is going to win the World Series, Wyatt?
Win the World Series? Oh, man.
That's baseball, Wyatt.
I know baseball. I'm not Mike Buck. Come on now. You know this.
You certainly don't know football. Look at all that crap behind you.
Oh, yeah. Here's the Bears fan talking crap. That's hilarious.
And you're going down this weekend, Wyatt. The answer, not give me an answer. Who wins the World Series?
Wins the World Series? I'm going to take Padres.
I'm
Hot
surprised
take.
you didn't go with the Packers.
Hot take, Padres.
There we go, guys. All right, Hoffy, thanks for joining us, man. We'll have you on next Monday.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Mondays with Hoffy and Wednesdays and whoever else. LOL. It sounds like you're talking like me, Tim. I'm just kidding. My bad. But, guys, we are going to take a quick little break, and we will have a moment of silence for Don Sutton. So, guys, we'll be right on the Man Hour right after this.
Your mic is muted,
buddy,
Rookie.
You're muted.
Welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Bucktosh along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams themselves. See, guys, I had the music going, so they didn't know that, right? I don't know. But so what? So we are waiting for Jalen to answer the phone here. So, guys, let's go ahead and kill some time until he gets on the phone with us and we can have that interview along with him. Wyatt, you did a call last night, Jeffersonville versus Oldham North, if I do believe. There are some Division I athletes on that court, I'm assuming. Give us some athletes to look out for coming out of that high school.
As for we'll start with North Oldham. I was really impressed with Roberts, the point guard they had, as well as Carr Cole. Really good shooting guys. They can both shoot the lights out, especially Carr Cole. Many of the guys that you see that succeed with shooting in the southern Indiana parts have some height to him, and he is a 5'10"-ish guy, so I really applaud how well he can shoot the ball and is able to get it up. He is super quick. He gets around everybody. He beats you around the corner, and he is a awesome athlete. So those are the two that I really liked, as well as Hodges as well. He was awesome for North Oldham. But to switch over to Jeffersonville now, it was actually a pretty eventful night for the Red Devils. The new transfer from J-Town, Jalen Fairman, plays, who hopefully we'll have him on later this week. I'm still working out an interview with him, but Jalen's a great guy, even better basketball player. But, I mean, he was up and down the court, tons of speed. He could shoot the ball very well. He added a really nice dynamic piece to the Jeffersonville offense that they haven't had yet, honestly, and there was a lot of better teamwork. The communication was much better through amongst everybody, as well as Will Lovings-Watts. He had a really good game. Will is a guy, I do not remember all the teams. He has a ton of D1 offers, though, and a ton of interest from D1 schools, which I will get the names on that later on, but I do not have them off the top of my head. As well as, Brandon Razor Moore. He's another guy from a J-Town transfer. He is a great basketball player. He's got some D1 looks about him as well. And Kobe Studemeyer, he's a great player. There's a lot of awesome talent in that game last night, and Jeffersonville comes out on top, I believe, by 25 in a really good matchup for them. And Jeffersonville has struggled this year so far in a year where they should be winning a lot of games. But, COVID, they got a new coach, several new players on the team that haven't started yet, so it's really hard to build your roster around that and get ready whenever you're missing time with your coach, when you're missing time with your players, and also they're all new. Everybody's new to this system and all that stuff. I mean, Coach Grant, this is his first year coaching at Jeffersonville High School.
You like how I did that there, by the way? You mentioned a guy's name from high school basketball in Southern Indiana, and I was like, "Yep," just to give you support. Like, I know that. Like, I live in Chicago. I ain't never even but hey, I'm here for you, buddy. Yep, for sure.
I appreciate it, Combs.
Hey,
no, yeah, it was a good game. Absolutely, it was a lot of fun to call.
Who won? Yeah,
Jeff did. Jeff came out on top by, I believe, it was just under 30. They had like a 35-point lead at one point, but then for the last 4 minutes of the game, Jeff put in there, I'd say probably a JV roster at the very end there. So they pulled it out in the long run. It was a good game. It was a lot of fun to watch. It's every game, as we call it. I said this a lot during football season. With COVID, we all know that at any point this could all get canceled. It could all get shut down. So we're taking every game we can as a blessing and continuing to call everyone we can.
All right, guys. So as we are waiting on Jalen to jump in on the interview here, what do you guys think about doing some what does? I mean, it is Wednesday. I mean, we all have the what does on us, right? So,
hey, let's do it. Why not? Hey, we improvise.
Are you guys down with that? All right. Where's the overlay? Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Ready? Here we go.
No way. Yes way.
And my first what of the night is going to go to myself. How can I not push the green button and it's supposed to be the blue button? Yes, these guys are rolling in the background. If you guys are watching the live feed over on YouTube.com, you know exactly why they're laughing. So my first what is going to go out to Combs. Combs, you need to compose yourself. When you make a funny, you cannot laugh more than the other people. It doesn't make it as funny, man. So Combs, come on, you get the what the, man.
Look, when we have a group text, you can't accidentally send a picture to the wrong group text because it's going to end up on an overlay in a what the. If only we could share the other photo that I did with that. But we can't and we won't.
We cannot.
But at any rate, look, my next what the goes out to Buck. Buck, how you gonna leave yourself on mute when you try to come back from a break, man?
Exactly.
Buck, you get the what the.
My next what that goes to myself, man. If you look at that overlay, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just.
My next what the other night is going to go out to Wyatt himself as well. First things first, man. Yes, you sent the picture to the wrong people. Yes, you did this. Yes, you did that. But the first question comes to mind. What were you thinking when you took that picture? Wyatt Williams, what the, man?
All right, let's reel it back in here a little bit. My next what the goes out to the Chicago Cubs. I mean, we have lost our entire rotation to free agency, and we have done nothing to replenish that pitching rotation. And we're in a division that is down this year. Like this division is going to be so bad that 82 wins will win you this division. So I don't understand what the hell we are doing here with the Chicago Cubs. I get that we're in a restart, and I get that fans need to calm down. As I've talked to a couple other Cubs fans in the area, we need to calm down. We need to let them do their thing. They've spent money. They've done their thing, and they haven't drafted well, so that's bit us in the butt a little bit too. But your entire rotation, with the exception of one, come on, Cubs. What the?
So before I toss out my next what the, I want to air this real quick. Torrey Anderson. Yeah, I would love for that to be the new fashion trend. I don't think that's how this one's. I don't think this is how this one's gonna go. But my next what the is gonna go out to the Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. It is my favorite place to go.
Don't you do it.
I love it. I do.
Don't do it.
But I order.
Don't.
And only one time ever has it been wrong, and it was this time. I ordered 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, my favorite. And you know what they gave me? 2 chicken strip baskets and sent me on my way. Chick-fil-A, what the?
My next what the is going to go out to the Kansas City Royals. We are signing all these pitchings to round up our pitching staff. We signed Wade Davis. We signed basically our whole closing staff from 2014. However, it's 6 years later. We've had Tommy John surgery. We've had shoulder injuries. We've had ACLs. We've had Achilles. Kansas City Royals, what are you guys trying to do? Are you trying to relive the glory days? You guys should have signed those guys back in 2015 when we needed them again. But 21, come on, Kansas City Royals, what the?
My next what the is going out to Calvin Kattar of the UFC. Fighting Max Holloway in the main event in the fight night this weekend. And in the 5th round, he is getting his butt whooped the entire fight. And in the 5th round, Max Holloway puts down his hands and starts shouting at the announcers, "I'm the best in the UFC. I'm the best in the UFC." Max Holloway goes to throw a punch, or I'm sorry, Kattar goes to throw a punch while Holloway is doing this. Holloway still ducks it and hits him with 2 jabs while he is taunting the announcers on the broadcast, saying he's the best in UFC. Kattar, you have to take him down in that moment. So, Kattar, you get the what the. He'd still kick my ass.
They do know Jesus. Okay, that you're not incorrect. All right, but my next what the is going to go to Amazon. Okay, so I order this charger for my phone. All right, and I pay because you need a charger now. Okay, my charger breaks. I need a charger today, not tomorrow, not the day after. I need it today. So I order this charger, pay extra for the single day shipping, and it's still not in yet. And that was 3 days ago. Amazon, what the?
My next what the is going to go out to Wyatt Williams again. Wyatt, you have come to us with 3 what does, and one of them you were dogging the best chicken place in all of America. Yes,
hey, it is. I agree.
Best chicken place. Come on, they mess up one time, and you're going to throw them under the bus. Come on, people make mistakes. They're human. Yes, they do know Jesus, but they're still human. Number 2, you dog Amazon. Do you realize right now Amazon can blow up your phone because they heard the word Amazon and sucks, and they're going like, poof, there goes your phone. And you don't need a damn charger anymore. Wyatt,
cancel culture too, Wyatt. Cancel culture. Yeah. And you're going after 2 of our biggest freaking names in the industry right now. I'm telling right now, we are going to be on the next meme. It's going to say Man Hour did not hang itself.
Yeah. And you are going to, I guarantee you, when you open up Facebook after the show, you're going to see a Chick-fil-A ad, and you're going to see an Amazon ad, and I don't want to see that because I love Chick-fil-A. Damn it, Wyatt. Great, now I'm freaking hungry. Wyatt, what the?
My last what the is going to go out to our boy who we just had on with us, John Hoffman. Hoffy, they say, hey, we need to talk more baseball. Who do you know that knows baseball, that can have a great conversation with you? I said, oh, Hoffy, easy. Let's get him some airtime. He's been itching to get on with the Man Hour. I said, I want to get him some airtime. We were planning on doing a show. We want to do a baseball show together. Nobody knows baseball better than my boy Hoffy. And what does he say to me after I give you a what the? He comes at me. Where did it go? There it is. Combs versus Cater UFC. He's trying to get me killed and take my spot. Huffy, you get the what the.
And my final what the is a 2-parter. Now, if you listen to the last what does, you heard about my great brother. His name is Leroy. All right, he is a super redneck. Waiting for Buck to go silent, get demonetized. Oh man, we have too much fun. So Leroy, all right, we do all this yard work for my broadcast partner. I told you all about the hatchet, where he straight up digs this whole root out of the ground with a hatchet, and we're all like standing around like, Leroy, what? And then my broadcast partner's like, hey, because you guys did this for pay, let's all go to a steakhouse dinner. We're all like, oh yeah, we're in. I show up 3 nights ago. Where's Leroy? Nowhere. Leroy skipped it. He forgot. Leroy, what the?
And my final what the of the night is going out to the people that build houses in the homeowner and the homeowners association that we're buying to buy this house from, right? So first things first is, guys, when you are buying a house, it is a haggling process. You're like, hey, I'll give you this much. No, I'll give you this much. It is a give and take, right? You are always trying to take more than what you give. So we go to this homeowner, the builder of the house, which he is a realtor and a contractor. He's a jack of all trades, master of none. And quite frankly, he pissed me the F off. So we offer him the asking price for the house and plus the closing cost. Then he wants us to take out like a second mortgage on our house to give him a $10,000 earnest thing. I gotta even know what the fucking earnest thing is. He wants us to buy a washer and dryer, a freaking microwave. Like he doesn't even put a microwave on it. This is a $300,000 house and you can't even buy a microwave? Come on, man. You get the what the. You piss me off. You piss me off. Oh, damn it.
Look at it this way. At least you're not in your pajamas with a sheet wrapped around you like a toga in a what the overlay.
And you have your nipple hanging out too, Wyatt. Like, what does that mean?
Man.
You could at least cover yourself. Sheesh.
I know, yeah. I thought I was like, what's the funniest picture I could send right now? I tied that sheet around me, and then
and you sent it to Combs, which is weird. Why are you
tied
sending
it up
Combs the picture?
He sent it to the group chat first of all.
I sent it to the group chat on accident.
Nice try.
I was trying to send it to my friend as just a joke, and then send it to the wrong group chat. And now here we are. The rest
Corey
is history.
Rice says, "Wyatt is my favorite human being on the planet Earth."
I just realized Wyatt's not 18 and his nipple is showing. Take that overlay off. Delete the show.
We did not do this. No, Wyatt is 18. He is fine. He's fine. But hey, somebody in the chat, can you guys tell me what this earnest thing is? Like when you're buying a house or selling your house, what is this earnest thing? Combs, you bought a several houses. Like, what is this thing?
Corey Rice says, Wyatt is my favorite human on the planet.
That's literally what I just said.
Corey is the best.
You guys are horrible. Literally what the fuck I just said.
So what?
I hate you.
We don't listen to you. What were you talking about? What's the earnest on a house?
It doesn't matter anymore because we're going to take a break. We're at that time. It is time to talk some NFL football, and I don't care what the earnest thing is because that guy can S on my D or P on my D, whatever you want to call it. I'm so flushed right now, man. We'll be right back here, guys, on the Man Hour. It's time for some NFL talk. How can each
some
team?
R. Kelly shit mixed in there.
How can each team win their respective games? We'll be right back here, guys, on the Man Hour. Guys, Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Guys, we always have some fun on the Man Hour. And if you guys take things a little bit too seriously, you probably shouldn't be watching the Man Hour. Let's be flat out honest, because I get worked up just because I have fun in life. If you I already got a text message saying you need to chill out. I'm not saying who it was from, Cindy, but nonetheless, guys, I am going to sleep on the couch tonight 100%. We have had a great show. We've had Zen on. We've talked some baseball. We had the what does, of course, but it is time to talk our bread and butter. It is time to talk some NFL football. This is championship weekend. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Bills Mafia. So today, guys, we are going to tell you how each team can win their respective games. So, Combs, I'm going to come to you first. You are not a Packers fan, but how can the Green Bay Packers win this week versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Spill it, Combs.
Do not, and I repeat, do not tell Aaron Rodgers it's the NFC Championship game. That would be the best bet, because once he knows it's the NFC Championship game, the choking begins. So, no, seriously, to not ruffle Wyatt's feathers anymore. It looks like he was going to cry for a second there. But the Packers need to come out and have a completely different game plan than they had in Week 5 when they played these guys the first time, or Week 6, whenever it was. Because they got annihilated, and they were playing well at the time when they got annihilated.
Yeah, they did.
They've got to have a better game plan. They need to get Devontae Adams deep. They need to get him open early and often. And they really need to pound the ball and keep Tampa Bay's offense off the field. If Tom Brady's not on the field, he can't beat you. And so that would be my key to the game for the Green Bay Packers.
So Combs, let me poke some holes into your philosophy there. So you're saying that you need to go deep with Adams, but then you need to keep the Tampa Bay offense off the field. You can't have both best of both worlds there. Like, what are you gonna do? Throw it for a 60-yard bomb and think like a 15-yard penalty?
I said early and often. They need listen to me, Buck. They need to get him deep early and often, and then they need to pound. And then they need to pound the ball and keep the Tampa Bay offense off the field. They need to score a bunch first and then keep the Tampa Bay offense off the field.
So you want to go blow for blow on offense and then get like a 10-point lead and then just keep the offense off the field?
You're not going to go blow for blow because Tampa Bay doesn't have that explosive offense. They don't have that offense that can get into a shootout with you. If you put up 21 real quick on this team, you're in good shape.
Okay. I somewhat agree with that. But Wyatt, how can the Buccaneers win this week versus your Green Bay Packers?
Go back to the previous matchup, go watch everything that happened, and come out there with the same fieriness that they had in that second quarter. A lot of people like to forget in that game. Yes, it was, I believe, 38-10 was the final score. 38, 31-10, something like that.
It was 10-0 Packers first.
It was 10-0 Packers right out of the gate. We all saw the triple pump from Aaron Rodgers. But nonetheless, come out with the fieriness that you had in the second quarter. The Packers, as you mentioned, they got us to get Davante Adams early. So I'm going to mention the Buccaneers have got to find a way to neutralize Davante Adams because here in the last couple of weeks, if he's been hot, Green Bay Packers win games. It is just flat out simple as that. If Davante Adams is catching passes and he catches, I'm going to say the mark for this one. So if Davante Adams catches 7+ passes, has 80+ yards and a touchdown plus, it is a Packers win. I don't know the stats on that, but I can almost guarantee you that there is like a 99.9% chance if Tay has those numbers that the Packers are going to win. So my philosophy, find some way to neutralize him, whether if that is through double coverage. I mean, he is the most aggressive route runner in the league and the best wide receiver in the league. You heard it here. So, so just find a way to neutralize.
How do we give him the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and tell us how they can win? And he spent 3 seconds telling us how Tampa Bay can win, and the rest of his time telling us how great the Green Bay Packers are.
I was trying to get him to think outside the box and not go with his homer pick, but clearly, Wyatt, you did not go that route because you basically said how the Packers can like win 100% there, man. Like,
yeah. How can the Tampa Bay Bucks win? Well, they got to neutralize Davante Adams, but when Davante Adams goes for 7 catches, he goes for 80 yards, 1 touchdown, the Packers are definitely going to win. What?
So,
I know my what the is next week.
You said, I think you said this on yesterday's show, that you said that this is not the same Buccaneers team that played versus the Green Bay Packers because the addition of Antonio Brown, yada, yada, yada.
They're better, and they're clicking.
However, Antonio Brown is out this game. Is that a big factor that Antonio Brown is not playing in this game versus the Green Bay Packers this week for the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is a big factor.
I don't know if he's out yet or not.
Yeah, it is a big factor if he does not play. But it's still Tom Brady. It's still a conference championship game, and I still don't go against Tom Brady when it comes to those games. I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't care who it is. I'm not betting against Tom Brady until Tom Brady will be 75 years old and sitting on his couch. And if they pan in on Tom Brady with a hat of a team on, I'm going with that team because somehow, some way, that team's going to win because of Tom Brady. So, yeah. Tom Brady.
So let's go ahead and jump over to the chat here over on youtube.com/manhour. Tim says that somebody needs to make Rodgers upset prior to the game. Maybe the Packers should announce that Love is going to start the game. I mean, usually when Aaron Rodgers is upset, he does play his best game, his best football. Wyatt, do you think you need to get Aaron Rodgers upset to win this game?
Let Danica Patrick do the coin toss?
Oh, man.
Too soon, right?
I'm a big racing fan, too. I actually have a Danica flag down the hallway. But, oh, man, no. I honestly, I don't know. I've been watching Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays a lot on the Pat McAfee show, and it seems like Aaron Rodgers this season, not just on the field, but off the field, he's in a completely different mindset. He talked about this last Tuesday a lot, was that he's a lot happier now. Like, just not just on the field, not just where he's at, not just with his situation, but just in life. Like, he's taken a better outlook at life, slowed things down, and looked around a little more, is what he said. And he said, and that has changed his outlook of everything. On the field, everything's been better. So, I don't know, like, I feel like that could work, but at the same time, I don't know if you need to take him off anymore because he's been playing with a chip on his shoulder all year. That's exactly what we've seen. This is why we've seen Aaron Rodgers do what he did this year. And honestly, I think drafting Love was a better move for Aaron Rodgers than it was for the Green Bay Packers in their quarterback future. I don't even know if Love will be the guy. It'll all depend. As of right now, Aaron Rodgers looks like he's got 3 good years left in the tank, 4 good years left in the tank, something like that. I mean, he looks like prime 2011 Aaron Rodgers during that 15-1 season during the regular season. Let's hope we don't have the same ending to that one. Let's hope we have the same ending as the year before, which was a Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi Trophy returned to Green Bay. Let's hope that's the thing. But I would say, yes, that could help, maybe taking him off. But at the same time, I think we've already seen it, that this is him ticked off. This is him playing with that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I said right here on the Mike and Mike Man Hour back in like June or July that Aaron Rodgers would be playing with a chip on his shoulder all year just to prove, like, hey, what are you guys doing? I have plenty of years left, and we've been seeing that all year. Combs, who do you think, who is the X factor in this game?
I toss a coin. There are so many playmakers. And so many things need to happen.
I can tell you right now, both teams.
Yeah.
Who's the X factor, Wyatt?
X factor for the Packers is going to be Robert Tonyan, because I think that the Buccaneers are going to spend so much time prepping for Davante Adams that they're not going to neutralize him, but find some way to. Oh man, yeah, no kidding. So I think that they're going to find some way to slow him down, not neutralize him. That's the word I'm looking for. Slow him down. So Robert Tonyan's going to have to step up huge. If Robert Tonyan has a great game, then the Green Bay Packers are going to click on all cylinders. And as for the Buccaneers, the big name that I'm going to mention here, Leonard Fournette.
Playoff Lenny.
Playoff Lenny. Just like you said, Green Bay rush defense has had issues all year. Yes, here in the last couple of weeks, they've kind of roped it back together. Ever since they played Derrick Henry, ironically, the Green Bay run defense has been not bottom 5 in the league run defense. So
just bottom 10.
And I think that's why I'm having such a hard time picking an X factor for this game, is because I want to say Tom Brady, but at the same time, either whether it's Fournette or it's Jones, both of those guys have to have really good games. And with AB being out, Mike Evans needs to step up. They need, Godwin to not drop every pass thrown to him. So there are a lot of X factors in this game. But if I had to pick one, you made me pick one. I would say that it's going to come down to, for Tampa Bay, it's going to come down to the quarterback in Tom Brady. And for Green Bay, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, these guys ultimately are 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and each one of them is going to need to step up and if they want to get to another Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you are absolutely right, Combs. The quarterbacks definitely do have to step up, so that's where I'm going to go with my X factors, is at the wide receiver spot. Not your big names, not Adams, not Evans, but I'm looking at the number 3 receivers and like number 4 receivers on both of these teams, Allen Lazard and Scotty
Miller.
For the Bucks.
Miller, yeah.
They both need to step up and have big games because I think all eyes are going to be on Mike Evans. All eyes are going to be on Davante Adams. So those role guys, those third and fourth receivers have to step up and have a big game. And some X factors, like in the chat here, Tori Anderson says the Green Bay D has to be the X factor in this game. Timothy Leonard says, well, yeah, if you stop Henry, you are able to stop majority running backs in the league.
Yep.
Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
I think...
I think it depends on the day, because just because you stop Henry this week doesn't mean you're stopping Henry next week, and it could be the same exact damn defense.
Sure.
It just depends on the day that he's having. So it's like to say, like, they blew Green Bay out of the water in the last game, 38-10. I don't think that's the same thing. I think this is a really close game.
Yeah. This game's going to be won in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with if you stop Henry, you can stop him majority, because it really just depends on what day you have. If you go out there and Henry has a really bad day, it doesn't make you a great run defense all of a sudden. It just means you had a good day against one of the top running backs in the league.
And I disagree with like both of those. It is all about the defensive scheme that you bring into the game. So like we were talking about the Buffalo Bills and like how they had a scheme to stop Lamar Jackson. If they were to run that same scheme versus, I don't know, let's say Josh Allen, like, you know, they're playing each other, and you had that same scheme to run that to stop Josh Allen. Josh Allen is going to succeed in that scheme. So it is all about coaching, like at that point, in schemes from day to day to day, week to week to week, game to game to game. So speaking of the next game, like we just talked about the Packers versus the Bucs, we are going to talk about the game of the day, the game of the week, and the game of the year. The Super Bowl defending champs Kansas City Chiefs take on the Buffalo Bills. Wyatt, how can the Kansas City Chiefs win this game?
Get the weapons involved heavily. And I am not just talking about Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce when I say that. I am talking about CEH has got to be involved. I am talking about any of the guys, McCole Hardman, Robinson, all of those guys, kind of like Buck mentioned, the third and fourth guys, because Buffalo has a good defense. Tre'Davious White, most likely, I'm not going to guarantee it, most likely is going to have Tyreek Hill's number all game. He's going to be on him. He's going to do his absolute best to try and stop him. Now, will he stop him the whole game? There is literally no way to stop Cheetah for an entire game. He is way too fast. So he's going to get a couple of big ones off on you, that's for sure. But also the biggest thing I want to mention for them to do it is how well will you react to this big play offense for the Bills? Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs have a big play offense and even better big play offense, but this is really the first time that Kansas City has seen an offense this elusive, this great in the playoffs that throws up a ton of points, will run with you neck and neck, has a electric, wild quarterback who can throw it, who can run it. Essentially, I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes can do the same thing, run it, throw it very well. He can run and gun. So I'd say your reaction to your mess-ups, your reaction to the fact that Diggs is going to have big plays, the reaction to the fact that Josh Allen is going to have good plays, the defense is going to make plays. How do you stick that out? How do you turn that around? How do you continue to stay positive? How do you continue to keep your head up and continue to take it each down, each play, and continue to fight?
So just to poke a little bit of holes in you, just like I did Combs earlier, the Cleveland Browns was a high-flying offense this season. They actually had more 40-point games this season than the Kansas City Chiefs. So they have seen a high-powered offense there, Wyatt. So I mean, they're like obviously the Bills is a little bit more stable, right, per se. Combs, how can the Buffalo Bills win this game?
Just what you guys were talking about. They have a very good, very powerful offense. They've also got a really, really good defense. Their defensive, I've said this time and time again, their defensive game plan last week against the Ravens was flawless. And they need to come out with that again against, hopefully, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But the offense, man, stick to your game plan. Stick to everything that got you to this point and do what you got to do. Look, the Kansas City Chiefs are one of those teams. They allow the 16th most yards on the 15th most plays this season, giving the defense they're the 18th highest ranked defense in the National Football League. So they are a beatable defense. So do your thing on offense, run the ball, pass the ball, mix it all up, do everything you got to do, get Diggs going early, get that offense going early. Cole Beasley is going to be a huge impact player on this game. Watch for Cole Beasley to have a huge game this week. And the Buffalo Bills just have to play Buffalo Bill football to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and Combs, just to add to your point there, Cole Beasley is having a career year. This is some of the best stats that he has had all in his whole, I think, 7-year career at 6-5.
I would say this is the best year he's ever had. I mean, he had some good years in Dallas as that slot guy, and he is a nice number 2 anywhere. And this is something that a lot of I have some friends that are Dallas Cowboy fans, and they all mention, Cole won't do anything anywhere else. He fits Dallas so well. He needs to stay in Dallas. And I said, no, he's one of those guys that will work literally on any team. I could throw Cole Beasley on any squad, and he will be successful because he gets open every single play. That's what Dak Prescott talked about it a couple years ago. Every single time, this is his exact words, every single time that I look around and I can't find somebody, I look for Cole because Cole is always open. Cole is always sitting by himself. But a lot of people overlook Cole Beasley because he's not that big play guy. He's not the guy that you're going to stick on the edge and send on that streak route. And he's not that guy who's going to go up in the air and moss somebody for the ball. He's just that guy that gets you 8 yards every single time you throw in the ball. He's that guy who, when you are 6 yards out from the end zone, people are doubling Stephon to the right. Brown is covered to the left as well as the tight end. Singletary, he's a guy that'll slip right through the coverage on a little out route or some kind of maybe a in something, and he'll be sitting right there all by himself. You just float it to him and touchdown.
So one of the biggest things that like you guys missed here in our conversation. Let me go ahead and bring up this chat from Jameson here as I hit the wrong one. He says Patrick Mahomes will play no matter what, even if he has a concussion, pinched nerve, or even turf toe.
I hate that, man. I hate that.
I mean, like Combs, you are obviously not okay with that. Why? We were like, I think we had this conversation on Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember
Monday,
but do the Kansas City Chiefs have a chance if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play? Combs?
No. Completely different team. Look, no disrespect to Chad Henne. I mean, he came out and he did his thing, and he helped them win that game versus the Browns. I mean, that first down run was phenomenal. Good on him. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He can't do the things that Patrick Mahomes can do, and there is no way on God's green earth Chad Henne is getting into a shootout with Josh Allen. There's just no way. And so, no, they do not have a chance if Patty Mahomes doesn't play. But I've said this before, Jameson. I don't know if you've been here this week. I know you were here on Monday, but yes, they have no chance. But if there is any chance, a 1% chance that he could injure that neck even further, I don't want to see him in the game. I just don't, because you're risking a career of a guy who could potentially be the next greatest thing that we've ever seen. He could be. I said this on Monday.
I think he already is the next greatest thing we've ever seen.
He's Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Lamar Jackson wrapped up into one quarterback.
What are your thoughts? Chiefs have a chance without Mahomes?
I will go against the grid on this one. I will say yes, simply because of the whole film, no film thing. And Combs mentioned that you can't get in a shootout with Buffalo. He's 100% correct. Henne will not be able to keep up in a shootout with Buffalo. But do you know who will? Tyreek Hill. Do you know who will? Travis Kelce. Right. Do you know who will? Mecole Hardman. The defense. Yes, Henne will not be able to keep up with Josh Allen. 110% Combs is spot on with that. But they have so many weapons on offense that I refuse. I could go play quarterback for them. I refuse to count them out of any game. Any of us three could go up there and just get the ball in Hill's hands. Get the ball in Kelce's hands. They are such playmakers to where it's almost to the point that just as long as you get it to them and you continue to get first downs and the defense makes a couple of big plays, sure, it's going to be, well, not sure, absolutely it's going to be hard without Patrick Mahomes, and it's going to be, the odds are going to be stacked against them, without a doubt. But, I will say but on this, the biggest thing is just as long as those big play guys can continue to make plays and the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line gives him time and protect him to get it to those big play guys, and the defense makes plays, and Harrison Butker and the special teams unit makes theirs plays, they are going to have a shot in this game no matter who's at quarterback. So I will go against the grid on that one. Yes, they would have a better shot with Patrick Mahomes, but also I will agree with Combs. I wouldn't want to risk it if there is any chance of a further injury, but also at the same time, this is a business. This is a win-now league, as Buck always says. So I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think there's any chance of Henne really playing this game, unless if it is something so severe that he legitimately cannot play.
Right. So
Torrey Anderson here. You don't invest $500 million on a guy
Exactly.
if Mahomes has a chance to cause a premenstrual injury. That is a really bad autocorrect because premenstrual is not the type of injury I'm planning on here.
Yeah.
Timothy Leonard says Henny does not need to be Mahomes. Henny needs to rely on his experience and play patterns with his receiving core.
Absolutely.
I agree. Torrey, premenstrual is a bad autocorrect.
All right, so I have let you guys speak. I mean, obviously, I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Let's hear the Chiefs fan. Knock it out.
You guys understand that the
I know
Kansas
you
City
ain't
Chiefs
talking.
and the Buffalo Bills played. I believe it was Week 7, in this year. The Kansas City Chiefs went to Buffalo and they beat Buffalo. 26-17 was the final score. With that being said, in that game, the Kansas City Chiefs rushed the ball for 46 times in that game. How many times did they pass the ball that time? They passed for 20 times in that game. So they ran twice as more rushing plays than they did passing plays in that game versus Buffalo. They basically Tennessee tightened the Ravens in that playoff game last year by doing it to the Buffalo Bills. They kept that offense off of the field. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 26 carries for 161 yards. That was like his coming out party. He is coming back from injury from week 16.
Coming out party.
And like he will be back this week. So why not feed that young kid the ball? If let's say Patrick Mahomes plays and he's like 70%, right? Feed the running back ball. You have Le'Veon Bell. Used to be arguably one of the best backs in the NFL. He still has it in him. He just needs some touches, right? You have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Feed those guys the ball. Rush the ball. And you can do the same thing with Chad Henne too. So the Kansas City Chiefs actually might be better off with Chad Henne in the game to beat the Buffalo Bills.
Jameson wants to know what we think about Kansas City's kicker since he's been shaky.
He is horrible at PATs, but he has not missed a field goal in like 12 weeks. So
I was literally ready to go with that. Like that literally makes no sense to me. How you can miss the close-up shots, but whenever you back away, you can hit those. It's actually funny. I called the IHSA semi-state game this year. Cathedral played in it versus Castle. Buck knows who those two teams are. And the Cathedral kicker, he is like this national prospect, right? He missed 3 extra points, but hit like 350-yarders. I'm like, hold on now.
Cody Parkey syndrome.
Exactly. It was so confusing. How do you miss? And it's high school too, so it's not like the NFL where it's backed up 10 yards. They're kicking it from the 2. How do you?
I actually think if you hit an upright, you should get more points than 3 points because I think that's harder than it is to kick it through the uprights. Like Cody Parkey, we should have won that playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles by like 10 because that double doink should have been worth 12 points.
But he wasn't aiming for that. He was aiming to go through, Combs. He double doinked it and sent it onto the ground.
That makes it even more impressive. He wasn't even trying to do it.
So, guys, let's go ahead and take
he couldn't do it if he tried, though.
Let's go ahead and take our last break, guys. On the other side of the break, we are going to talk a little bit of UFC. We have a big fight happening. We have McGregor versus Prairie coming up here on the Man Hour right after the break, guys. We'll be right back. the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Wyatt, just so you know, I do screenshot everything, so I saw what you did on the back office there during the break. So there will be another overlay coming soon, guys. I just want to put that out there. So I'm totally kidding. No, I'm not. I see everything. With that being said, guys, we have had a great show. We have talked to Zane with Ohio State lineman. We told you how the NFL teams can win their respective games this week. We also had some Major League Baseball talk, but it is time to get into a little bit of UFC talk to close the show out. We have a big fight happening. McGregor is making his comeback into the squared circle this Saturday at UFC 257. Combs, you are a big UFC guy. Are you excited about this fight?
I am, but real quick, did you call it the squared circle?
Yeah.
It's not octagon.
Octagon.
Son.
It's a
squared circle is the WWE.
It's exactly what it is because this is all freaking story written at this point.
Oh my God! Stop it. Look, in the octagon, yes, man. Look, I'm pumped for this fight. I'm already planning it out, watching it this weekend. I am paying my $70 to watch it this weekend, and I will be there. If you are not right now, if you're just an avid fan of the UFC, you need to order this card this weekend. Because not only is the McGregor fight, but they have got some amazing fights on this card. And McGregor and Poirier to finish it off, that is going to be a war. And I know that McGregor knocked him out, within 2 minutes of the first round the last time that they fought. But Poirier has evolved since then as a fighter. He has aged. This guy is a much better fighter than he was the first time that they fought. And this is going to be an amazing, amazing night for the UFC. So I can't wait to see all of these fights.
See, Combs, you are telling people to spend their hard-earned money on a fight that's going to last about 30 seconds.
No, you're wrong.
On,
it's not. It's not, though.
Conor has been training.
No, it's just asking long.
He is pissed off. I mean, we've seen it when Conor gets pissed off and focused. He is a dominant fighter.
But my favorite UFC fighter of all time.
Poirier was embarrassed the last time that they fought, and he is a much different fighter now. And I'm telling you right now, it is not going to be an easy fight. This is going to be a fight that is. I mean, it's going to be. I would not be surprised to see this one go the distance. To be completely honest with you, but like I said, this is not the only fight. Even the prelims have some really good fights on it.
Right.
That I'm looking forward to seeing. That Juliana Pena and Sarah McMahon fight is going to be a really, really good one. I do love the female, the women's divisions. Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas is going to be another good fight. And they're on the main card. And then you've got the co-main events, which are, they got two co-main events, which is Dan Hooker versus Atman Azatar and Jessica Ai versus Joanne Calderwood. And those are going to be very, very, very good fights.
Yeah, Conor McGregor alone is must see TV. I love everything about him. I love how he brings the excitement and just the fluidity to everything that he does. Very good entertainer. Speaking of very good entertainers, we are going to jump back into a little bit of NFL here. Some more Deshaun Watson news is starting to come out. And there are NFL execs saying that they are willing to give 4 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson.
Jeez.
4 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson.
The Jets.
Wyatt, do you think that Deshaun Watson is going to leave Houston at this point?
That is tough because, yes, I do. But at this point, I don't know if it's going to be this year. I think he might have to finish out the contract and then go from there. It's tough because he's a great quarterback, but at the same time, 4 first rounders. In the NFL, here's how the NFL goes. You can get it's not like the NBA. So I'll break down the NBA first. So NBA, in your draft, you have the first 5 picks, and those are your franchise guys every year. Those are your guys that will come in and make a difference. And pretty much after that, you just pick the best guy on the board for your team. As for the NFL draft, it's completely different. You can get franchise players, as we've seen, a.k.a. Tom Brady, a.k.a. Dak Prescott, a.k.a. Alvin Kamara, in the third and farther back round. I mean, Tom Brady, the greatest ever to touch a football, the football Jesus, Tom Brady, was taken in the 6th round at pick 199. So you can get a lot of value out of 4 first rounders. And here's the deal. The Jets need to build, okay? Deshaun Watson's not the answer. Yes, Deshaun Watson's a great quarterback, but you can't just throw Deshaun Watson into this dumpster fire and him just take, all of a sudden the Jets are now the top team in the AFC East. Oh, the Jets are now an AFC contender. That's not how this is going to work.
A new coach will put him there.
No. Okay, Saleh's great, and yes, it would help out even more if Deshaun Watson was there. But here's the deal. You cannot just throw Deshaun Watson into a dumpster fire and expect all of it to just be like, oh, we sucked yesterday, and today we're a Super Bowl contender. Okay, he's already tried that. Look at what he's done in Houston. He is worth it, and the Jets are the team that will risk their next 4 years, pretty much for draft cap. Okay, that's what I'm saying, Tori. I'm saying for sure that they are going to need this draft capital. The Jets are. They need as many good players to surround him with as possible. Like I said, yes, Deshaun Watson is great, but look at it. Let's even go to Houston here. Houston has more weapons and a better team than what the Jets have now. And what they had 4 wins this year, I believe, correct? 4 or 5, 4 wins. Yep. You can't just toss a quarterback in a dumpster fire. Okay, I love Patrick Mahomes. I love Aaron Rodgers, but they're not turning around the Jets. I'm sorry to break that to anybody, but one player is not going to just solve everything in a dumpster fire place like that. It's just not how it works.
Deshaun Watson, though, is a different quarterback. Now, I agree he doesn't turn around the Jets organization, but he's still a quarterback that, in a dumpster fire in Houston, has still had a quarterback rating of over 102. Like, I mean, this kid is the real deal. So look, if I'm the Bears, I'm giving up 4 draft picks, 2, 3 number ones, and I'm going to throw in Khalil Mack. Like, that's how much.
Would you give up 3 first rounders and Khalil?
Yeah, absolutely. In a heartbeat for Deshaun Watson. In a heartbeat.
And that is why the Bears will always be 8-8 right there.
Yeah.
No, that's not why. They'll always be 8-8 because they won't make that trade.
I don't know, man. That's your pass rush right there. That is 3.
It's not all of your pass rush because Akeem Hicks you still got. You still got. Oh God, his name always escapes me. We just picked him up from Dallas last season. And we've still got Roquan Smith. We've still got a really good secondary. I would absolutely. Deshaun Watson is better than anything you're going to pick up in the first round in the next 3 seasons anyway.
The problem with the Bears right now is they want to hire Mike Singletary as their defensive coordinator.
Wyatt, you said who? Name me one player right now that you can get out of college, even this season, that is a better pick than Deshaun Watson.
If the Bears could get him, or are you just saying a player that would go to the Bears?
Bears had the number 1 pick.
Trevor Lawrence.
No,
I would take Zach Wilson maybe, but Trevor Lawrence for sure.
No, you're out of your damn mind.
Trevor Lawrence is going to be on the rise, especially if he goes to a good team. Trevor Lawrence's problem is he's going to go to Jacksonville, so he's going to suck for like 2 or 3 years, and everybody's going to be like, oh, he's a bust. And then it's going to happen. They're going to build around him, and then one day it's going to be like, click, oh, and all of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence with his mighty luscious locks looking like, Lord
cannot wait to play fantasy football against you guys. You're going to have Trevor Lawrence. Buck's going to have.
I'm taking Trevor Lawrence in 3 years. Not this year. Not next year.
I just said who is a better number 1 pick that the Bears can pick this year than Deshaun Watson, and you said Trevor Lawrence and maybe Zach Wilson.
Yes, Trevor Lawrence would be better this year. But he's going to Jacksonville. That's why he's going to suck for the next 2 years because he's not going to have anything around him.
Combs, also on the flip side of that, Trevor Lawrence is 1 first round pick, not 3.
Exactly.
So you have to weigh out your values there too. Like 1 first-round pick versus 3 round picks.
Deshaun Watson is worth 3 first-round picks. Absolutely, so. 110%.
Now,
really? Because NFL GMs are disagreeing with you and agreeing with me.
The reason, so sometimes I think when anonymous general managers come out and say this crap is because they are trying to up the value and scare away other teams, so then their team can come in and slide in, oh, we'll give you 2 first-round picks because there's no other offers out there.
I still think Deshaun to Miami. I'm not sold on that one just yet.
Just because you don't want him to come to the Bears.
I think.
So guys, let's go around the horn real quick here before we end the show. Combs, where do you think Deshaun Watson is going to end up?
San Francisco.
Wyatt.
Miami.
And that is it for the Man Hour, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys can catch us on youtube.com/Man Hour, you can check us live every Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. East Coast time. Combs, any closing thoughts before you head out?
Man Hour Nation, rise up. Wyatt Williams, sit down.